Good morning, and welcome to It Came Out the Refrigerator. I am your narrator, Waking 314. We're going to continue with our series, which is called Nothing But the Facts. And today, we're going to go in a little bit different direction. I know I say that a lot, but today is a different direction because someone asked me to do some bio information, but I'm not going to really do that today, but I am going to share some facts about where I've been, some of the things I've dealt with, and where I've gone with. And I found these questions, which I think are hilarious. So I'm going to try to answer them the best I can. So, with that being said, let's get started. Where were you born and where you lived your first year of your life? I was born in a little city called Pontiac, Michigan, about 23 miles outside of Detroit. And that's where I lived for the first 17 years of my life. How many states have you visited in the United States? I've visited 18 of the 50 United States. I think it's around 18 to 20. I counted before I got on, but yeah, it's about 18 to 20. My travel bucket list, the places I would like to go. Fiji, back to New Delhi, India, back to Germany, Frankfort. I want to see Rio de Janeiro, Cartagena, and Pago. The best place you've ever visited, Bahrain in the UAE. It was absolutely fabulous. Just fabulous. I had one of the most beautiful and amazing time for those 3 days. So I would love to go back. The most incredible natural phenomenon you've ever seen. I thought this was going to be a toss-up, but it really isn't. When I was in Saudi Arabia, a lot of mornings when I woke up, when the sun was rising or already up, and because the sky was so clear, you could see the moon clearly, just clearly. And the second one after that is walking in Alaska in the summertime and seeing an aurora borealis. The wildest travel story you've ever had to share. This is my favorite story. It's going to be quick though. I went from Nebraska to a little bit outside of Sacramento, California. I went there by train. I left a little bit outside of Sacramento by rental car, headed to San Diego, caught a C-131 from San Diego to Hawaii, which took 17 hours. Went from Hawaii, ended up on a place called Wake Island. You can look that up. Spent 3 days on Wake Island, left Wake Island, ended up on Guam for a day and a half. Left Guam, ended up on Okinawa. And then finally a hurricane forced us off Okinawa and we ended up in Tokyo. How many times you moved in your childhood? I count 8. I could be wrong, but I count 8 times we moved before I got to middle school. The best city you ever visited? It's still gonna be Bahrain. I just love the way it is. I love the way it's shaped. I love driving all over it, and I really enjoyed myself. The coldest and hottest temperature you've ever experienced. The coldest is easy. In Michigan one year, it was wild. It was like a negative 132 cold factor outside. I don't think that was the actual temperature, but with the wind and everything going on with it, it was so cold they told you not to leave the house. And when you did, you would have to cover up your entire face because you could breathe in cold air and get hurt. And then the hottest was the desert at 120 degrees in Saudi Arabia. The longest you have ever walked, an hour and a half, like almost 13, 14 miles. It was fun. The farthest you've ever driven is 2,311 miles. I drove from Pontiac, Michigan to Sacramento, California. The fastest you've ever run a mile is 6 minutes. Was part of the tennis team in high school. And the strangest place you've ever fallen asleep. Uh, when I was in the Air Force, I used to march a lot and do a lot of crazy stuff. And we would come back, and a lot of times you only had like about an hour before we had to go to the next thing. So I would just fall asleep right next to my locker, sitting up, just pass out. It was so cool. So I'm gonna link to these in the description below. See how many of these you could answer for yourself and how cool they are for you. These were fun to answer, and I just hope you enjoyed. Today's snack is a fried bologna sandwich with a fried egg on it, with lettuce, with sauteed onions, and a little mayonnaise and mustard, with toasted sourdough bread. It is absolutely delicious. I enjoyed it immensely. I hope you get to have one day yourself. A lot of people put coleslaw on it, but I think that's a little gross. But hey, everybody has their own taste and own flavor. So with that being said, always be safe. And remember, continue to be blessed. And as always, all are welcome here. Thank you.